Hi, I'm Jessica Bayhall with Great Rivers Regional System for Addiction Care, and I am one of the prevention education specialists, and I cover Kanawha and Jackson County. And we are here today as a follow-up from the Dr. Calhoun CAMC Mothers and Babies interview that we did. And today we have a success story that came out of that program. This is Leslie, and Leslie's joining us today to tell us a little bit about her experience there at the Mothers and Babies program at CAMC. So Leslie, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome.
So we just have a few questions for you. The first one is, what pathway did you choose and what led you to that pathway?
Okay, so I chose the Subutex program and the mommy and baby program, obviously because I found out that we were pregnant and I just couldn't imagine being the reason why my baby was born addicted. And I knew that it was a safe way to be dosed down for me and him.
Awesome. Had you tried other pathways to recovery?
Yes, I had, the old cold turkey deal or other Suboxone programs, but I'd always failed or, fell back into my old habits. I had actually been on a Suboxone program before I started the Subutex program. But, once I found out I was pregnant, definitely safer choice was Subutex.
Awesome. Did you have any challenges during your program there at CAMC?
Yeah, with trying to quit any addiction, you of course have challenges. You just have to stay focused and just be strong about it. But they gave me all the right tools to, lead me in the right direction.
What would you tell someone who is considering the Subutex program? What would you tell them? Sorry, I just muted myself.
That's okay. To stay focused, to stay strong. It was definitely one of the hardest things that I've ever done, especially being pregnant. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to go through the sickness to be clean, but the end result is well worth it. Definitely worth it.
What would you say is something that you learned or took away from the program there at CAMC?
They gave me really good tools in the program, groups and one-on-one meetings, and it was just a safe environment for me to stay headstrong and to stay focused on it. It was just an amazing program.
Can you explain to us, if people are listening for the first time and maybe they didn't catch Dr. Calhoun's interview earlier, but could you explain what took place during your time in that program?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was high risk. So I had weekly appointments, and I would, of course, see Dr. Calhoun. And I also had weekly groups and one-on-ones that I had to do with my counselor. And of course, I had Sandra, who was my recovery coach, who was in every appointment that we had. But you would go in and see your doctor regularly, your OBGYN, to check on the baby. But every 2 weeks at first, they would dose you down safely. And then as you progressed further in it, I think it was like every week he would dose me down 2 milligrams at a time until I was completely off. And in the end, I'm successfully clean, and Elijah was born unaddicted with nothing in his system. So I had a healthy baby, and they just kept track and close monitored you throughout that whole process.
Awesome. Where are you today? I know you just said Elijah. Is that what you said his name was?
Yes,
Elijah?
yes.
Elijah was born, and where are you today? What has this pathway to recovery given you and brought you to today?
Okay, so I have to first credit God for keeping me strong and my faith in Him. But, I am a wonderful mother to 3 beautiful children. I'm clean and healthy, and I have the things that I didn't used to have because of my addiction. my children, a home, a car. I just have my life back, and I'm accountable for the choices that I make, and a productive mother to my children, and a loving wife to my husband. And it is just so worth it in the end. Like, it's a struggle, don't get me wrong, but it is amazing. Your life is back. You just have the things that you always wanted in life.
I love that. That is the best answer. And you have a healthy baby boy.
Yes, we
That's
do. An
amazing.
amazing baby boy.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. I know we've been talking back and forth the last few days, and you were telling me you had to go to a doctor's appointment. I'm like, hey, that's awesome. Like taking him and
Yeah.
getting him and doing that. So that's amazing. I love to hear that. And again, I want to say thank you for being willing to share your story and just a little tiny piece of your story. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us or like to
Yeah,
leave us
I just
with?
want to add that I really don't think that I would have been that successful, or I couldn't have done it without that program. I couldn't have done it without the doctors and nurses and the counselors that at Dr. Calhoun's office. It was an amazing team, and the program helped me get my life back. And if it wasn't for that, I would probably still be struggling, with my disease. And so I just want people to know how important that programs like this is for people like me, and that it made a world of difference in my success story.
Absolutely. I love that. Your success story. And you are
Yeah.
a living proof of it. And I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's just, it brings a smile to my face. So,
Yeah,
well,
it is a
Leslie,
great pleasure to share my story with you guys. And I hope that this helps, so many other people, to try it, to see if it will work for them. Because if they really want it and the doctor's there, it's great. It will help. And you can do this. And, so.
absolutely. And if you have any questions about this program, about the Mothers and Babies program there at CAMC, remember when we talked to Dr. Calhoun, it's not just mothers and babies, it's actually gynecological as well. So maybe you
Right.
would like to be more, if you'd like more information about that program, feel free to reach out to us at Great Rivers, or you can look it up on CAMC's website. They have a lot of information there about that program as well. And Leslie, thank you again for being willing to share your story. And we are so excited to be able to learn more. I think
Yeah.
that's been the great thing about this time during September's Recovery Month, and that's one of the main reasons that we're doing this. We want people to know that recovery is possible and that there are multiple pathways to recovery, and yours is just one of those pathways. And so we want to thank you for being willing to share your story and your success
Yeah.
with
It
the
was a
rest of
privilege.
us.
Thank you guys so much,
So
too.
thank you. And like I said, if
Yeah.
anybody has additional questions, or maybe you have some questions for Leslie, I'm sure she would be willing to answer those. Reach out to us. We would love to put you in contact.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we'd love to put you in contact with one another and continue to look for people in recovery. Continue to look and see that recovery is possible, because it is. And so Leslie is just one of those success stories. And so we are so thankful to be able to be a part of this Recovery Month celebration. And so Leslie, thank you so much. And give
Thank you,
Elijah
Jessica.
a big hello to everybody.
I will. I sure will.
And we thank you
Thank
again.
you.